Alright, we're live. So we got that going. Awesome.
All right. Make sure
I
everything.
have no idea how this works and no idea how to tell how many people are watching, so that's great.
There should be a little eye icon that'll pop up here in a second. Usually takes a minute after you start, but it'll pop up eventually.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
I see it
super
now. Yeah.
accurate.
We have 0 people watching. Lovely.
It's not the most accurate thing,
I'll take your word
but
for it.
it's I guess it's there for
Alright.
some reason.
Yeah, I got a buddy who texted me. He said he'd be watching, so
All right.
yep, we got that going. We're gonna start off with the rope lures. So we're gonna do that. This is super weird for me because I have never done anything with my voice involved.
Yeah, it takes a little getting used to, but I
And
know
I'll tell
it
everybody
definitely
don't
took.
do this at home because it involves lighting stuff on fire.
Yeah, it definitely took some getting used to for me, but
Yeah.
at this point, I've done it so many times that I get used to it.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Just cut a little bit off this end. Still at 0, but I'm not gonna be losing any sleep over this.
Yeah, I know YouTube's not very great about pushing live streams, so it's kind of like it can be pretty iffy. But
Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha. Ooh, it smells like burnt rope over here all of a sudden.
nice.
Yep.
That was
I'm planning to take these rope lures out in a few, and I was throwing top waters like way back in fall, getting a bunch of gar follows, but none of them really wanted to commit. So I'm gonna have this rigged up and toss that at them. Maybe with some jigs that I'm gonna rig up here in a few.
yeah. Honestly, I need to just start having a rod in my boat with a rope lure on it. Because last time we were out on the water, I probably saw 5 to 10 gar. They just swim right next to the boat, and they'll eat whatever you put in front of their face. It's just their mouths are so small that good luck hooking them,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have treble hooks. Oh, well, we
What
made
reel
it.
is that? Because that sure sounds sweet.
It is a Cast King Royale Legend Pro.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I just got the good old Zebco Splash here that's been acting up on me lately. Probably because I accidentally demolished the anti-reverse. So that's
Yeah, I
just
used to have one of those. Caught a 10
what
pound
I
catfish on it.
yeah, I caught my personal best catfish on. I don't know how big it was, but it was about as long as my arm, so 1.5 feet maybe.
Yeah, solid one for sure. The
Yep.
weird thing is I caught a 10 pound catfish on it and then I snapped it on a bluegill. So I
The
got no
rod?
idea what. Yeah,
How does
I
that
must
work?
have like I must have like weakened it or something at some point, and
Yeah.
because it wasn't like a world record bluegill or anything.
Yeah, I got my brother. This is okay. I have two brothers. One of them fishes. Oh man, he's awesome. And then my older brother, he just doesn't do a whole lot uh, when it comes to fishing. I mean, he can use a spinning reel and all that, but for his birthday a while back, I got him a Zebco slingshot. That's that cheap 10.99 or 9.99 combo. Oh
Oh
man, that
yeah,
thing is so cheap. I mean, it works, kind of. Not great. And I just reached over one day just to test the rod tip, and it just like snaps in half on me, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? So,
yeah. My dad got one of those one time, and I I know the reel broke like when we tried to put new line on it.
ooh,
But I gave the rod to a buddy of mine because I just didn't have a use for it. My dad didn't want it anymore, and
yeah, it feels
pretty
like it's
sure the
falling.
rod still works. So
Yeah.
oh, that was a stick, not a fish.
What are you throwing out there right now?
I wacky rigged a trick worm. So I guess
That,
kind of a Nico rig with no weight.
that is, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of soft plastic fishing, but you know,
Absolutely hammered him on it yesterday.
really,
Also hooked like a 30-pound snapping turtle on it.
Yeah. I
Thought
haven't
I
seen a
had
whole lot of
these.
turtles lately. I'm not gonna say it's too cold because it's not. So I don't know where the turtles are or where they've been. But but
It
a while
usually
ago,
doesn't. Go ahead.
somebody hooked a giant snapping turtle in my spot.
Yeah, I know. We don't really have many snapping turtles, but I hadn't seen one in a long time till I saw one at this spot, which I've fished it for a year before seeing one. But then,
Ooh.
of course, the one I saw decided to eat my lure.
Also, Unreal Fishing. Are you I mean, your mic is off, so we can't hear you. By the way, or at least I think that's what that little icon. Yeah, that's the mic off mic thing. Okay. And then we have one person watching, so that's just swell. Yeah. Overall, not. I mean, I caught a few sunfish on a tube lately. It's a Berkeley Atomic tube. I have it in this tackle box over here by me. Where's it? There it is. Nice. It's a cute little tube right here. Would definitely recommend some of these. I can't.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet looking. I never used one of those.
Oh man, my the Bass Pro. I mean, I don't have a Bass Pro within half an hour of me, but I went over to one recently, picked up some of those. Oh man, those are awesome. I mean, I was just twitching it in the rocks. This sunfish can't resist it.
My dad said he used to catch a bunch of trout on them too whenever he lived in
Oh
Washington.
yeah, yeah. Their target. I mean, I think one of their main things is trout and crappie. Not a whole lot of dedicated sunfish plastics, which is a constant headache for yours truly.
Yeah, I know the brand I got a sponsorship with is they're called the company's Cast Cray Outdoors, and they're more for sunfishing than they are bass. So
Oh really? I might have to check them out.
they got 64 different colors of soft plastic,
That's
bunch of different body styles.
Yeah. And then I picked
I
up some
know.
of these. I posted that one was yesterday, and these are like the coolest little crawfish plastics. They're made by the same brand as Trout Slayer.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
have some of those guys.
oh yeah, and they were so cheap. They were at Academy at like $1.99 for five or four or five, I think, and two 64th ounce jig heads. So that
Oh,
was cool.
nice. Yeah, I picked some of those up for trout. I only think I threw them one time, but I couldn't catch a trout on anything but a night crawler this year.
And Play-Doh, Play-Doh,
Yeah, I did catch some on that too. Some sparkly Play-Doh.
and then Alabama Wildman. You know him.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know him at least. He recommended these. These are the Z-Man larvas. I don't know if you can see them there. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I
they are
see.
ridiculously stretchy.
Yeah, that's
Which
something
is
that's nice to have when you're fishing for bluegill.
yeah,
Those things.
but I have this whole bait philosophy about like jig philosophy about bluegill, and that's you got to get the hook pretty far back in the bait because otherwise you'll miss the hooks because they just like to grab the tail.
Oh
So
yeah,
if your hook can go all the way back, then you'll probably get more. So for example, on like a paddle tail, you can only put your hook so far back, and not impair the action of the lure.
yeah.
So if you get one with legs, then you can put your hook as far back as you want. And that's what I found, like the Maxi Waxy, the Mr. Crappie and Strike King Maxi Waxy. Oh yeah, that thing's awesome. I gotta stop parking on it sometime, but not anytime soon.
I just because Cast Cray has their own fake wax worm too. It's like injected with like a bunch of uh, freeze dried wax worm stuff, and
Ooh.
I
Yeah, I
took
feel
that
did
out the other
you make
day.
like a video or something using that lately? Because I feel like I saw something about you doing that.
I didn't make a video, but I did make a post on Fishbrain
Ah,
about
okay,
it.
I might do that. Okay, I saw something with you using a Cast King or Cast Cray. My bad. Something or other. Wax worm.
It worked pretty well, as I'd never really used like any fake worm style baits, like other than like bass type worms, but they worked pretty well. I was.
What you mean, like the Berkeley stuff?
Yeah, I've never
Well,
used any of that stuff before, so.
don't. It's not. I mean, okay. The scents are very good. Like too good. I mean, they will stink up everything for days. So don't
Really?
get those. Yeah. 0 out of 10. Okay. 6 out of 10. Would not recommend though.
I feel like why buy those when you can just buy normal worms like
Yeah, because
night crawlers?
those normal ones, those will animate themselves.
Mm-hmm. Because I know I had a friend that did get some of those Berkeley ones, and he tried them, and he's just because that he's pretty big into sun. Or I guess I wouldn't say he's huge into sunfish, but he likes to fish for whatever bites, so he fishes for sunfish a lot. And
Yeah, I got
so
that.
he got some of those, and he's just like, yeah, they don't work well enough to buy more overnight crawlers.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just not worth your money. And you can go out. I get the bar ass hot dogs from Walmart. It's like 99 cents for a pack of 7 or 8. You know, throw them in a plastic bag, a little bit of some Kool-Aid powder. I mean, you just can't beat that. It's my go-to.
Oh yeah, definitely. I kind of forgot about that for bluegill. I've caught a lot of catfish on that, but um, I forgot how well bluegill eat them.
Okay.
Crickets are fun to use for
I just
bluegill
looked
too.
at the live chat. Let's see. Cajun Outdoors. Hello. Um, and thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, welcome in Cajun Outdoors and two A's. I don't know how to say the last
Yeah,
word,
I
but
apologize. I'm not gonna be. I can't pronounce things because English hard.
yeah, I agree. All right, I'm gonna switch up to something else on this rod instead of a 6-inch. Yeah, I don't know where Unreal Fishing went.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I mean, there are a couple of the people that might pop in. Alabama Wildman, maybe. He said he's a little busy, but if he might pop in towards the end. I don't know. I'm not gonna run this thing for more than another hour. I mean, gonna run it till 8, 10 tops. But you know,
All right.
if I can get this real thing off. There we go. Ah,
Um,
and it's a mess in there. Come on, there we go. So when I was casting this reel, I was fishing just the top water for no reason okay, for a reason, but not the point. I was fishing the top water on there, and it just started like clicking like mad on the retrieve. I don't know what it was, to be honest. I mean, I put lubricant in it a couple days. That might be the lubricant, but I don't know. I'm just gonna take it
yeah,
apart and look and see what I can see.
there we go.
And I have no
See it.
idea how good my camera angle is because stuff happens.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Unreal
Just
Fishing just caught a bass, and both of you guys missed it.
wait.
Well, that's
How?
what 2A's says in the chat. Oh, I see a bass now.
Oh
Unreal Fishing, your mic is off. I mean,
yeah. Last time I
and I
checked, his cam was off too.
oh, it's on now. I mean, it's a little trippy, but hey, I've got my phone on like a tripod aimed down at my tray right now, and if I want to like look at the screen, then I have to like put my face in the camera, which I don't want to do, obviously. So I'm just seeing a
You,
little bit of a side shot.
you can actually flip it around
Yeah, I saw.
if
Yeah,
you.
I
Is there a
might just I'm
pause
gonna do
button?
that right now. Let me just probably gonna like.
Oh yeah, he's got a bass.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Nice.
That's a nice one. Nice one.
Still can't hear you on Real Fishing if you can hear us, but rigging up one of those 6-inch panoramas.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Are those sixth sense lures worth it? Are those sixth sense lures worth it?
The panorama?
Yeah, like just 6 cents in general.
I think they're pretty good. Especially like this panorama is definitely worth it. I've caught a lot of fish on it. Some guy I know just caught a 16-pound bass on it.
That's insane.
Um,
Okay, okay.
I just
I'm probably gonna get slandered for this one, but I would rather caught I would English hard. Sorry, I would rather catch a 2 pound bluegill than a 16 pound bass any day of the week. Any day of the week. Hang on, I'm
I
gonna go
mean I
grab a
can
paper
see that.
towel because I gotta get all the grease off my hands real quick.
All right. Don't backlash. That would not be good.
Okay. I gotta try to remember what I was gonna do. I'm just gonna take this off.
Oh shoot, is that a fish? Dang, that might have been.
Oh yeah, I was gonna hang on. I'm gonna just see if I can't turn off my camera. There we go. Got the camera on. I'm gonna flip it around real quick.
Yeah. Now chat's showing up for me.
Nah, I can't figure out that camera thing, and I'm not gonna waste my time doing it.
Yeah, it takes some looking at.
Well,
Streamer doesn't
first,
like to make that easy. Oh, lots of moss, huh? One right there. Let's go up under the tree. There's gotta be one up under the tree. Not in the tree. Okay, never mind. Get from the cast this way. Okay, that was terrible. What the heck? Okay, we're making progress. These 6 inch panoramas are, they like to get caught in the wind because of how flat and skinny they are. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. I don't know if that's me, but you sound super quiet, and I can only hear you like every once in a while. It's like cutting in and out.
is this better by any chance? Hey, can you hear me right now? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you. It kind of sounds like something's over the mic.
I mean, is that any better?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah, because my tripod was like getting in the way of the mic, and now you can see my couch over there. So enjoy the view.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to. Oh, there we go. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, still.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome.
I know there's fish over here. I broke both of them off yesterday. Or I shook one off and broke the other one.
Man, I'm trying to remember the last time I broke a fish off. I'm thinking it was like almost a year ago. And that's not because I'm an expert angler by any means. It's just because I don't catch fish big enough to break me off. I think it was like a big old channel cat. I casted my rig under a tree and someone just grabbed it and started running with it. I mean, peel and drag. I never saw him. He just dragged me under like a boardwalk and cut and snapped the line. Probably was
Yeah,
like
it was definitely user error yesterday. I just whenever you're finesse fishing and you go to and you're using cheaper line and then you go to set the hook like you're frog fishing, it usually doesn't go well.
nah. My hook set is something to be laughed at. I mean, because believe it or not, from my name, I target mostly sunfish.
Yeah, and those hook sets are definitely different because when I go to, I do send quite a few sunfish flying whenever I do get a bite from them. What the heck is that? Do we got some shad feeding going on out here?
Ooh, you should catch them.
Oh, I think we do. What the heck was that? Either that or I don't know. There's something doing weird stuff on the surface, out in the
Yeah,
middle, and they
nah.
feed on shad like crazy out here.
We just got a bunch of mullet at my spot. I mean, they're jumping all over the place this time of year. You cannot get away. Oh my goodness, I just got so much grease on my fingers. You ever been salt fishing by any chance?
I have not.
Really? Oh man.
I don't do a ton of traveling, but it's definitely something I want to do.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, I can't surf cast. I mean, I'm not. I don't have the build of an athlete, so I'm not great at slinging heavy stuff. Um, but one time I did go surf casting, and my buddies are convinced that I'm an amateur because I target sunfish with a spin cast reel and float rig. So they kind of screwed me over with a 1/4 ounce jig.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
And
goes again. Oh, there's a carp. Gosh
I,
dang it. That would make sense, I guess.
yep.
I know I told you I was going to go for carp, but I
Yeah.
didn't bring nothing for carp.
I got you. I got you.
Of course, when I don't, they're feeding like crazy out in the middle.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how it works. I mean, the one time I don't bring one of my heavy setups is the time I catch a perfect bait size shiner. And that happened yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Can't remember.
I wish we had more shiners. One pond I used to fish, it had like some golden shiners up to a pound in it. I had no idea what they were because
That's
I'd never
insane.
seen one before. And I was like, these look like baby carp. And I looked it up and it's a golden shiner. I'm like, these are too big. Oh shoot, never mind, that was a stick. But of course, I didn't know that they made good bait. So,
Yeah, I mean, I knew people use shiners as bait. I'm just like, there is no way something will eat something this big. I mean, I'm catching like 8-inch shiners out there, but they're so annoying. I hooked into one like in the winter, and they're so hard to keep on the hook. And
oh
so
really?
he just let go, and my entire rig slingshotted back at my rod tip, and it just tangled, and I could not get it untangled for the life of me. So I had to cut it.
Oh dang, yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
happens to me a lot when I fish for like sunfish with a bobber setup.
yeah,
Because me and
yeah,
my bass hook set it usually comes flying back at me if they don't have it all the way.
yeah. I so I have lately been fishing on like a project where I've been fishing. Oh, no. 1 second. Let me get my angels together.
You're good.
Um, I've been working on the new, video concept that'll probably get some more views in the box. I'm gonna be using a Nerf dart as a bobber, and I'm gonna be shooting it out of the gun to cast it. And
I
one
saw
part,
one video of someone doing that one time.
yeah,
I like that idea.
yeah, I want to try it. I mean, what could go wrong, right? But I
Yeah,
was
exactly.
testing it out at a pond lately, and my main problem was that I couldn't. So you have the bobber, then you have the split shot below it, and then the hook, right?
Mhm.
So when you would fire the dart out of the gun, that's the uh, the weight would, it's basic physics, right? The weight doesn't want to go anywhere, but it has to get pulled along, and it's just wobbling all over the place as it flies out, and it reduces the distance that it can travel. So it really just cut down on my distance, and that's not really a good thing. Because
Oh
in the
yeah.
pond, I mean, the fish are probably easy 10, 15 yards out consistently. And they fight super hard, and it's super rewarding when you hook one. They're just kind of few and far between.
I think that's probably why I don't fish for sunfish super often, is because I don't catch many off the bank, so I kind of literally just drop it in front of me and just pull them up. So there's not a ton of fight that goes into it. But
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy that pond because you have to fight them in, and for some reason they fight stupidly hard, and it's so fun to get them in. Um, I have seen. I thought they were only like little bass because I mean it's a new pond. It was stocked relatively recently, and then one day I go out there and there's another guy out there, and he is just tearing up the bass. I mean he caught probably 6 bass in half an hour. I mean none of them were
really,
giants, but they were all bass, and I mean a bass is a bass for me at least. I caught one in
yeah.
a cast net a while back.
Oh,
I'm
really?
probably log it tomorrow morning. Yeah, it was on that one
Yeah.
day where I go to my first spot and it's super crowded. I go to a second spot. There's a guy in a suit with a gun, and I go to my third spot.
What?
Yeah, I'm not joking. I pull up. There's this guy that looks like Mr. O'Hare from the Lorax, and we're just like
Thanks.
ignore him. So we start walking around looking for spots. Then so we come back and he has a friend, and said friend has a gun.
That's
So
weird.
yeah, it's a really seedy city. It's really declined a lot. Kind of anticipated. We like to joke about it. My friend once said the safest place to be here is not here, in regards to that city.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. So I went to a third spot, and I haven't been to that spot since like December, and the weather was just awful. It was so cold. The tides were low. It was miserable. I didn't catch crap. Didn't see crap either. And I'm not seeing any fish at all. I'm not, getting any nibbles. So I'm just like, I see a one fish swimming on the surface. I have no idea what it is. Still don't. And so I'm like, you know what? I threw the cast net in the back today, so I'm gonna try to go for it. Well, my first throw is trash because I haven't thrown it in a year or so. And then so I'm like, you know what? Might as well practice. So I start chucking it around just to get back in the swing of things, and I get a bass. I mean, little tiny largemouth, but it's a bass. Yeah.
Nice.
Crazy happenings in Alabama.
Yeah, there's been some. I have some interesting encounters every once in a while,
Oh
but
yeah.
it kind of happens sometimes. You always get those weird sides of town.
Yep. And I think I found the thing that was making all that noise. I have no idea what this little piece of plastic is, but it looks broken. I'm gonna hope that was the problem and put this thing back together. And then probably rig up some soft plastics. So that'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I want to go and catch some bluegill to put in this pond because this is kind of it's a private pond that I'm not the only one who fishes it, but there's not a ton of people who do. And so I like to try and take care of the fish in it as best as I can,
Yeah, I get
grow
that.
some giants. And there's not much, the bluegill population is really small for some reason.
Hmm.
And so, like, in the wintertime, whenever a lot of shad start dying off, I start catching a lot of more, the fish start getting skinnier. And so I, I want to catch some bluegill to help
So the
give them
bluegill can be
something
there year
that's,
round. Yeah, I get
yeah,
that.
because they're a lot more tolerant for the cold weather.
Right,
And
right. See,
the
what did I?
only bluegill I ever caught out of here, I snagged him on a crankbait. He was probably like half an inch long.
Yeah, I've
And
caught some small ones. I mean, my beloved size 20 hooks. I caught probably
oh,
one that
nice.
was smaller than this swim bait right here. I mean, he was tiny.
Yeah, and then I've tried fishing for them in here because I wanted to see like what bait fish was in here. I wanted to see if there's maybe some crappie. See what. So I figure there are probably sunfish in here. There kind of are in
Well, I
every
mean,
body
it's
of water.
yeah, there's gotta be some fish.
But I mean, the one I snagged was definitely a bluegill. So I don't know if they got any other ones in here, but for the most part, they're bluegill. Are those
Yeah,
carp? Right? Yeah, there's carp again.
that pond I fish at, I mean, it's a man-made pond as far as I know. Uh, and I figured, oh, there's probably just a bunch of carp in there to keep the vegetation down, not much else. So, that one day I messaged you. I'm like, hey, what do you do for carp? Which is kind of a stupid question because I know your carp rigs. It's a hook and a bait, right? Well,
Yeah, that's about it for me.
I show up and it is like I can make a lot of jokes about weed here, but I'm not going to. Anyway, point is, it's super weedy, and I'm like, heck no, there are no carp here whatsoever. So uh, I I'm like, okay, I see a few little sunfish, so I'm gonna rig up, and I mean, I'm just catching straight bluegill, which makes sense for a stock pond, right? I mean, nobody in their right mind is gonna go out and stock the entire Lepomis genus.
Yeah.
And then a while back, I was fishing it with my brother, and he caught a little tiny warmouth, and I'm like, what is that doing here? I figured it just washed in with the floods or something.
I caught the only warmouth I ever caught. I actually caught it on the Sixth Sense panorama,
Yeah, I remember that.
and
Fishing
that
with
was like it was probably a football field and a half away from the bank. I was fishing offshore for bass, and I was super pumped about it because I've been trying to catch one for a long time,
Oh yeah, they're fun.
and was not expecting it at all.
You got all those surprise catches, right?
Oh yeah, I caught quite a few, not mega bluegill, but some above average size for the ones I usually catch, all
Uh,
in that same spot.
yeah, I mean, I catch more numbers than quality of bluegill,
Yeah,
uh,
same here.
which is
Actually,
surprising. But
I don't even catch bluegill that often. I catch a lot of green sunfish and a lot of long ear.
oh, I love those are like some of my two favorite species of sunfish.
I know. The
Green.
green sunfish are a lot of fun.
Oh, they are because I mean, even the tiny ones can eat gigantic baits.
Oh
So if
yeah,
you're going out, if you're starting with like a jig for sunfish, that is your go-to species right there. You know.
definitely. Which I used to think those were warmouth. I
Oh,
thought they were the same thing,
don't even get me
but
started on the whole bluegill identification debacle and all that jazz.
yeah,
Uh,
I used to be pretty into just like all the species stuff, and like everyone in my family down here, they all call them perch. That kind of bothers me because I know they're not perch.
well, yeah, over here, crappie are perch. So a guy pulls up to the dock and he's like, "Hey, I caught a bunch of white perch. You want some?" And I'm like, "No." But he tosses me some jigs that he was using for the quote perch. So I mean, I can't complain, right?
Yeah,
Free tackle is a win any day of the week, regardless.
yeah. A lot of people do call crappie perch down here, but for the most part, it's usually crappie. At least from the people I talk to, either they're crappie or they're the people that don't really like know what crappie are. They just call them perch
Yeah,
or bass. Some people call them bass sometimes. I'm like, that's not a bass.
yeah. I've had people say that, oh, that's like a hybrid or something. That's like a bluegill or bass hybrid. Or
Yeah, exactly.
specifically with like red ear, people are like, oh, I've seen on Fishbrain actually a couple days ago. They're like, oh, I think this is a crappie bluegill hybrid, and I'm like, those don't hybridize. That's
Yeah,
not how it works, guys.
I
Somebody
wish
was,
we had more red ear down here because they tend to get bigger.
oh yeah, red ears get pretty big. I have caught two red ear. My brother caught one. They're not terribly common down here. I mean, they exist down here. They're just not here.
I've only ever caught one as far as I can remember, and it was in the same pond as those big golden shiners, and it was over a pound. I thought I had the state record bluegill. I was looking it up and everything, so I didn't know what a red ear was, and so I was still very far off from the state record bluegill.
Oh, well, what is the state record bluegill looking like?
It's 4 pounds and some change, um,
Yeah, I
which
could be mistaken, but I'm almost positive Alabama has the state record bluegill. I'm almost I think it was like near Birmingham or something. So a little further north of me. But
the the world record.
yeah, world record.
That's probably right, honestly. It's like five something, right?
It's 412.
All right.
So I got work to do. Now, interestingly enough, my favorite species, the red-spotted sunfish, is that big old red one that people call stump knocker. Um,
Oh yeah.
the state doesn't really have a record for that, which I find somewhat annoying.
That just means you got to go catch one and turn it in. Then technically you got the state
That's
record.
kind of what my philosophy is.
Shoot, I
Um,
got one fish on.
nice, nice.
Ugh. Oh shoot, he's mad. This is not a BFS rod, but this is a finesse casting rod,
All
and it's a
right.
lot of fun. Oh, bank flipper.
So,
Oh
so
dang.
correct me if I'm wrong here. A BFS is the equivalent of an ultralight for bass, right?
Yeah, it's basically just an ultralight bait casting setup.
I got you. I got you.
I've been wanting to get one, but it's like they're pretty expensive, and I don't think I'd use it enough. But honestly, at the same time, maybe I would.
Yep.
Cast King's got the cheapest one, and I have connections to Cast King. But there we go. We got us a fish.
Nice. It's
He's
not a.
not big, but
Well, I mean, I'd be
he,
proud of that bass personally, probably because I just don't catch bass.
yeah, he's definitely a fun catch.
Yep. All right. Time to get out my. Oh yeah, I carry my jigs around in this Tic Tac box, so that's funny.
Yeah, that's convenient. Fits in your pocket. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him back.
This is good.
Healthy one. I like to see the healthy fish.
Yes, yes, definitely. You know those chunky ones.
The funny thing is, I've cast there like 8 times so far today.
It just took a little working. But yeah, these are those jigs I was talking about, like those the white. These are the ones he gave me. I mean, I think
Oh yeah,
they're a little heavy for what I do, but definitely will keep them in handy.
those are the only tubes you can find down here. I don't understand it, but like you won't find bass tubes anywhere. Nowhere sells bass tubes,
Really?
and those are gonna be like the only crappie tube things you can find.
I got a couple bass tubes. I mean, I got them from a friend. And then here we have my beloved Maxi Waxies. These are probably my favorite jigs out there. And I'm just gonna throw a few on a jig head. I don't know what weight I'm gonna do, but let's see.
Man, I love using this setup. It's like even makes those smaller ones fun.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
a 6'8" medium fast bait casting rod.
nice.
The reel's got clicking drag too, which always surprises me. It's
Yeah.
because it's like it has the clicking drag like a BFS reel, and so I don't know. I like to use it for a lot of stuff. I'd use a spinning setup for bass. I like to throw it on here just for fun.
I can't. I can barely remember the last time I heard drag feeling. I mean, it's hard to remember things like that. It really stinks, but that just means I got to go out and do some.
Yeah, I know. Like just recently, me and a friend of mine we were fishing for crappie, and then eventually it kind of switched over to just sunfish in general, whatever would bite. And we always set like a carp rod out,
Yeah.
and so which I was recording at one. Was recording my rod. I was gonna try and make a short, but it just didn't turn out great. But I had a carp. I caught a carp, and after looking at the footage, he had been on for like 2 minutes before we actually realized he was on there. And
Oh.
so I was like, I guess that's what I get for taking the bell off.
I have. I don't know if you've heard of KN Fishing Smarts, but he does a lot of. He's a biologist who fishes basically, and he had like a rattle bait, like a rattle trap or something, and he just hooked that onto his rod and used that as a bite alert, which
Oh
is
dang,
pretty
that's
smart.
actually a good idea.
Yeah, I know, right?
I got plenty of those. My bell's trash.
Yeah, I've been looking into getting a bell. It's just I'm probably gonna be doing a whole lot more of heavier fishing because I got that new heavier setup, which I'm very happy to have. But yeah.
Yeah, the bells I got them at Academy. They're some Eagle Claw bells, and they're extremely heavy.
Hmm.
And the bell, like the actual bell part that rings, is not great. So I would, you can get them pretty cheap on Amazon. Like you can get a lot of them for like $2 or $3, and I they're like green. I know that, and I definitely recommend those over the bells I have. They look like a cowbell,
Uh-huh.
which
Yeah.
and so
I
they're
feel like
really big.
yeah.
So I don't recommend those.
All right, I will not get those then. Let's see. Okay, that isn't not great rigging. Okay, interesting. These jigs I'm using, these are 1/64 ounce, and I got them from like some place over in Louisiana. And they don't have a collar, you know, like your typical jig does, to keep it on. And on the back it said it said no collar prevents torn baits. And I'm like, okay, be honest, you really just like were too lazy to put a collar on, because
Yeah,
nobody's gonna go around taking the jigs on or taking the plastics on and off their jigs. Really just
yeah, that
stupid.
doesn't make much sense. Unreal Fishing commented and said that
Yeah,
he had
I
to
saw
go.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the first bass I've ever caught. Well, technically not. That's the first bass I've ever caught during a live stream while targeting them. I know I've caught some bass while fishing for catfish during a live stream, and it
That's
was during a live fishing tournament.
that is almost funny. Okay.
One of them was like a 3.5 pounder too, and I was like, dang,
Ooh.
like
Yeah. Like
he would have been a lot bigger if he was filled out.
I think my PB is like 2, maybe. Maybe 2.
Nice.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
caught him on a night crawler, of course. I've caught a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 bass on something that wasn't bait. Okay,
Really?
technically 5 if we're gonna count that cast net, but I'm not gonna count that one. Yep, I
I
caught
mean, I
one.
know live bait's considered cheating a lot, but I'm not against live bait unless it's, I mean, like, unless it's like in a competition. But like, I mean, you're just out there having fun fishing, and live bait's gonna catch you more fish. So
Why not use it?
exactly.
I mean,
Which
yeah,
I do. I enjoy using lures more, so that's just why I do it. But
right.
I
I
mean,
get that. I get that. I'm trying
to
to move
each
more
your own.
towards jigs and stuff myself, just because I've caught a couple sunfish on a jig, and I'm like, holy crap, this is so much fun. 10 out of 10 would do again.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I mean, jigs are definitely not the most effective way to catch a sunfish. But if you're going for quality, maybe. But I mean, I find that bait works better for me personally, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really just don't want to mess around with some of that. I don't boat fish. I've boat fished twice, totally 2 times. I just don't want to mess around with that. Really, it's a whole new world, and fishing is fishing, right? I just want to
Yeah.
keep it simple.
I want to move spots, but the weird thing about this pond is if I move like 50 yards to the left, I like my connection gets really bad for some reason. So I'm fishing this area very fluently to make sure I don't leave any fish behind
Yeah,
if I were to move, because this is where like the best service I have is right here,
yeah.
over a tree branch. Wonderful.
Oof. Yeah,
That's the
there's
thing
a
about this
bobber in
spot.
the tree at my spot, and he's just chilling in the tree, and he'll never come back down again because stuff happens. And I mean, I've
Once,
trees so many times. There's my brother pointed out. He said, "Hey, is that spinnerbait in the tree new?" And I'm like, "Yep, it sure is."
oh
Just
yeah,
what's been where and how long it's been there.
yeah. I know. There's just one spot me and my friend fish. It's a state park, and oh shoot, there's some little fry getting chased out there. But there's this one tree, and it's like in one of the more popular spots, and it is right above your head, but it's like just to the height to where you don't think you'll hook it. And
Oh,
so anytime someone goes to overhead cast, especially with like a bobber setup, that it looks like a Christmas tree. There are so many bobbers in there, it's
so,
insane.
so it's just like 10 feet perfectly.
It's
On
in
the
the perfect spot.
Ooh.
And I've hooked it, my friends hooked it. That is some of our stuff in that tree.
Yeah, there's this guy on YouTube, and he's also on Fishbrain. I follow him. Pass fail. He actually did a video where he just went out with like a pole or something, and he just got a bunch of lures. He got like a whopper plopper and a topwater frog. I think it was like a booyah frog, so it's gonna be worth something. But he got
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of nice stuff out of a tree.
Which this spot I don't. Well, actually, I found a Berkeley Chapo out here, but since it's a private pond and you kind of there's not really many other people that fish it. Like I get to fish this pond because I take care of like the property, or I
Right,
mow it and stuff like that.
right, makes
So
sense.
like you'd think they'd bite better for a private pond, but yesterday was the best day I'd ever had out here.
Yeah,
So
you were live yesterday, weren't you?
I was at wait, what was yesterday? Oh yeah, yeah, I was live at one point, but it wasn't while I was fishing.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
was live at one point.
I want to be honest. I have not seen all of your lives. I mean, I've definitely been watching a lot more lately, but I haven't seen a whole lot of them. So I don't really know sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I don't expect people to go back and watch a live. I feel like watching lives are pretty boring unless you're like in the live.
Right,
Like if
right,
you're not in the live chat, it kind of takes away from it.
right,
Like when you go back to rewatch it, which I'll rewatch my own live sometimes just to make sure everything looks good and see what I can do better. But
right. Like I'm
there
probably
really
gonna watch
isn't much.
over a couple times personally, like when I get home, or not when I get home, because I am home. But I am gonna rewatch this a time or two maybe.
Yeah, honestly, I might too. Get you some watch hours. Oh shoot, I got another one. Oh no,
Oh, he got off.
stole my dang worm. He ate it top water out of the tree. I cast
Notice.
over a tree branch.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That is the one downside to using the finesse bait casting setup is when you're fishing these like there's lay down trees all over the bank, and so when you're fishing those, it's like you can only do so much in this 12-pound line, so it's not the greatest for pulling them out of heavy cover. Man, that's at least I didn't hook him. He just ripped my worm off,
Ooh.
and that did hit me on something
My
because that was not on the bottom.
my first artificial bass was on a bandito bug. And I mean, I was actually showing someone how to cast a spinning reel at that time, and I cast it, and I start reeling it back in to show them again. And I'm like, wait a second, there's a fish on here. And I get super pumped because it's a bass, and I pull it up, and I'm like, wait a second, here's the hook, here's the weight. Where's the bandito bug? Yeah, it just wasn't there. So he
Oh
got
yeah,
bugged, but you know.
though, because the bandito bugs aren't the most durable, so they do tend to get thrown off. Which, I mean, it can be frustrating, but a lot of times that softer material gets you more bites.
Yeah, I mean, I've fished a bandito bug twice, maybe twice. I mean, I do not do. Okay, right here, I would like to coin the term artifishing for artificial fishing. I haven't done a whole lot of artifishing because I just haven't. I mean, I'm probably gonna be doing more. Okay, I'm trying to think about what jig I should use here. I got a 64th, another 64th, and then a 132. Um, Probably just gonna use the old 60, yeah, the 64th, but let's see.
Yeah, I don't do. I mean, whenever I do fish for sunfish, they're usually right by the bank. So,
Yeah,
um,
same here. I mean, interestingly enough, on the shoreline, there's a bunch of logs and stuff. And there's this one log. It is hollow. And you drop your bait outside it, you're gonna get a bite no matter what. It's only failed me like twice, maybe. I believe that's where I caught my first red spotted sunfish. But I just love that little log. I've lost a couple hooks to it, but it's fun to just scout the structure and catch them out of there. It's just as satisfying to drop a bait right outside and watch it disappear inside.
Oh yeah, for sure. And which I mean, I got a $16 jackhammer in that tree over there. I've
Ooh,
got a $20 glide bait in another tree over here.
yeah. This is why
So,
I don't really mess around with expensive. This is probably one of the more expensive lures I have. This or the prop turtle. Yeah, this is the Lunker Hunt prop turtle. It's like a hybrid between a whopper plopper and a topwater frog. I think I mentioned it in a live chat or something.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's not terrible. The feet just get caught up in the weeds a whole lot, but it's pretty
nice.
3/4 of an ounce, so pretty good. I want to start packing these things up because I've made enough of a mess out here today. Also, one thing I hate these packaging for these Bobby Garland things because it's like little trays, and whenever you try to put it in vertically, they all fall out. So shout out to Bobby Garland for that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't use. I mean, because I'm sponsored by Cascray, their
Yeah,
main focus is crappie jigs and stuff like that. So I don't use a bunch of other companies for stuff like that.
understandable.
Um, but
Well,
I mean, they definitely work.
yeah, but if you're gonna go for a sunfish soft plastic, I'm gonna recommend the Berkeley Atomic tubes or these Mr. Crappie Strike King Maxi Waxies. I mean, I'm gonna stop promoting them eventually. Probably not, but I just love these little things. Go on a 132-ounce jig.
Oh,
Perfect.
I got another one. Got him. Oh my gosh, he took my worm again.
You're not serious.
What is this fish doing? I might have actually hooked him that time. Gosh dang it. What do I need to do different here?
Uh, don't ask
They,
me. I'm the sunfish guy.
I don't think he's that small. So, because like I felt his weight that time. I think it probably would have been similar to the last one. The last one swallowed it. So maybe I'm just not letting them have it long enough.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
man, it's dark here. How is it still light over there for you?
I mean, I don't really know, but it. I mean, I was fishing out here till 9 o'clock yesterday,
Jeez.
which it had gotten dark by
I'm
then.
lucky
But
if I
they were
get
still
fish
biting.
till 5.
They were still biting. So I was like, my mom's like, "You coming home yet?" I'm like, "Nope, they're biting."
Man, I wish I could do that. Yeah. Well, I gotta get going.
All right.
It's been fun doing my first live here with you. Thank you for joining me. And
Yeah, anytime.
thank you to the 0 people watching right now, and to the people who might watch this replay. All right. So until later, God bless, and see you next time.
All right. See y'all later.
If I can hit the button, just bear with me here. Yay, got it.